Think about the last time someone left you on read, or walked past you without saying hello, or laughed at a joke that wasn't yours. You felt something physical, a tightening in your chest, a dull ache somewhere you couldn't quite locate. You told yourself it was nothing. You told yourself to stop being so sensitive. But here is the thing. You weren't being sensitive. Your brain was doing exactly what it was built to do. And the reason why is one of the strangest, most revealing truths about what it actually means to be human. Your brain treats social rejection the same way it treats physical pain. Not metaphorically, not poetically, literally. The same neural circuits, the same regions lighting up on a brain scan, the same ancient alarm systems screaming the same warning. When someone excludes you, dismisses you, or turns their back on you, your brain responds as if you've been cut. And to understand why that is, you have to go back. A long way back. Imagine you are living 150,000 years ago. No cities, no agriculture, no backup plan. You belong to a small group of about 50 to 150 people. That group is everything. It hunts together. It defends together. It shares food and knowledge and fire. Without it, you are nothing. You are slower than the predators hunting you. You are weaker than the terrain trying to kill you. You cannot store enough food alone. You cannot survive a single bad winter on your own. Rejection from the group was not an emotional wound back then. It was a death sentence. Your ancestors who felt that exclusion deeply, who felt it in their bodies, who felt it urgently enough to immediately change their behavior and repair the social bond, those ancestors survived. They stayed in the group. They passed on their genes. The ones who shrugged it off, who felt nothing when the tribe pulled away, those ancestors wandered into the dark alone. And they did not survive long enough to become your ancestor. So you inherited the alarm. All of us did. In 2003, psychologist Naomi Eisenberger at UCLA conducted an experiment that quietly changed how neuroscientists think about pain. She put participants in a brain scanner and had them play a simple virtual ball tossing game called Cyberball. Partway through the game, the other players, who were controlled by a computer, stopped passing the ball to the participant. They were just left out of the game, excluded, socially rejected by digital avatars. The results were startling. The brain regions that activated during this experience, the dorsal anterior cingulate cortex and the anterior insula, were the exact same regions that activate when a person experiences physical pain. Not similar regions. Not nearby regions. The same ones. Social rejection, even in a meaningless video game with strangers the participants would never meet, triggered the brain's pain matrix. Eisenberger called this the pain overlap theory. And it reframed everything. Because it meant the question was never why you feel bad when someone rejects you. The question became why would the brain borrow the body's oldest alarm system to signal something social? And the answer, once you understand evolution, is obvious. The body's pain system exists to protect you from physical damage. Touch fire, feel pain, pull your hand away. It is fast. It is impossible to ignore. It forces behavior change. It keeps you alive. Your ancestors needed a system equally fast, equally impossible to ignore, and equally capable of forcing immediate behavior change whenever the social bond was threatened. So evolution did not build a new system. It piggybacked on the one that already worked. Social pain uses the physical pain infrastructure because in the ancestral environment, they were both threats to survival. And there's another layer to this that most people never hear about. Researcher C. Nathan DeWall at the University of Kentucky ran a series of studies that showed something extraordinary. Tylenol, a common over-the-counter painkiller, reduced the emotional pain of social rejection. Participants who took acetaminophen for 3 weeks reported significantly lower levels of hurt feelings and social distress than those who took a placebo. A painkiller designed for headaches blunted the hurt of being left out. Because in the brain's architecture, the hurt is the same kind of hurt. The chemistry is not entirely separate. This is not a metaphor your brain is performing. It is a deeply wired biological reality. Now think about what that means for you today in your actual life. You check your phone and see no reply to a message you sent hours ago. Your stomach does something. You replay a moment from a meeting where someone interrupted you or dismissed your idea. Something in your body tightens. You scroll through photos of a gathering you were not invited to. There is that feeling again. The ache. The thing you try to explain away. You are not overreacting. You are running ancient software in a modern world. The problem is that this software cannot distinguish between threats. Your brain cannot easily tell the difference between a rival excluding you from a hunting party on the African savanna, which was genuinely life-threatening, and a coworker not liking your post on LinkedIn, which is almost certainly irrelevant to your survival. The alarm fires either way, at the same volume, with the same urgency. Psychologist Roy Baumeister at Florida State University spent decades studying what happens to human beings when they feel socially excluded. The results were not subtle. Socially rejected people showed decreased cognitive performance. They made worse decisions. They became more aggressive. They lost the ability to regulate their behavior as effectively. They ate more unhealthy food. They took more risks. Exclusion, even brief exclusion, degraded the machinery of the self. Baumeister's interpretation was direct. When a person feels excluded, the brain begins to behave as if fundamental resources, belonging, security, social standing, are under threat. And a brain under threat does not perform like a brain at rest. It performs like a brain trying to survive. And here is the part that will make you look at yourself differently. Because this system evolved for groups of 50 to 150 people, it was calibrated for a world where rejection was rare, personal, and came from people who knew you. Today, you are exposed to social feedback at a scale that is biologically unprecedented. You can receive approval or rejection from thousands of people simultaneously. You can be ignored, criticized, or dismissed by strangers in another country before you have even finished your morning coffee. The ancient alarm system was never built to handle this volume. It was built for a campfire, not a comment section. And it cannot tell the difference. Every dismissal, every ignored message, every hostile reply from someone who has never met you, your brain processes it through the same circuitry that once protected your ancestors from being cast out into the cold. This is not weakness. This is the cost of being human. The same sensitivity that made your ancestors repair broken relationships before they became fatal, that made them read social signals obsessively, that made them feel exclusion as pain so that they never let it go too far, that same sensitivity now fires in response to a stranger's comment, a declined invitation, a meeting they did not invite you to. You cannot simply turn it off. The wiring goes too deep. But you can do something that your ancestors never had the language to do. You can name it for what it is. You can look at the ache in your chest after someone walks past you without a word and recognize that your nervous system is running a 150,000-year-old survival program in a world that no longer requires it. Naomi Eisenberger found one more thing in her research that rarely gets discussed. The same brain regions that process social pain also process the warmth of social connection. The circuitry is shared. The capacity for rejection and the capacity for belonging live in the same house. Which means the sensitivity is not a flaw to be corrected, is the price of being someone who can feel what it means to truly belong. The people who feel exclusion most deeply are often the same people who feel connection most fully. You cannot numb one without dimming the other. So the next time you feel that tightening, that dull ache, that low hum of distress after something that the rational part of your brain insists shouldn't matter, do not dismiss it. Do not tell yourself to toughen up. Sit with it for a moment and recognize it for what it is. A 150,000-year-old message from every ancestor who survived by refusing to be alone. The last time someone left you on read, you felt something physical. A tightening in your chest. An ache with no clear location. You told yourself it was nothing. Now you know. It was everything. It was the oldest instruction your species ever wrote into your body. Stay connected. Stay alive. Stay human.